Not for that reason. It's emotional.
Don't be upset before we've already started.
Maybe I'll get excited.
Maybe. That's definitely a ban.
Hey!
Yeah. So, Mr. Bandling from LinkedIn, how you doing?
I've been warned.
You've been warned.
Yeah,
Keep your language clean for once.
it wasn't that bad.
Never is. How you doing anyway?
I'm right. You?
Yeah,
You
not too bad.
been to space today?
I have.
Did you?
I have. Just did it through YouTube rather than pretend and hire a whole studio to
Nice.
pretend I've been to space and back. I was actually watching a video earlier on all the different conspiracies over that space thing. There's all sorts that I hadn't picked up on. So there was, I think there was a picture of a dummy in the spaceship, which I think is just from a previous test flight or something. Anyway, that someone's brought out. There's the fact they opened the door accidentally, and the fact the door opened inwards, which they don't do. So there was that one.
Open the door, there's some guy standing out there.
Yeah. What was the other one on there? Oh, the scorch bit. I'm not bothered about because they didn't actually leave the atmosphere, so they wouldn't be scorched. They just went quite high.
Space, not quite high. They went to space.
They went not quite. They just went up a bit in the air, didn't they? And then apparently, if you turn the symbol over that they were wearing and put it the other way around, it looks like the devil or the devil's goat or something like that. An image. And then Bezos's partner, who was on it, who supplied all the outfits for it,
Because you can just do that, yeah.
apparently had
If you go to
600.
space, you can just go to Primark and go for some.
Just get an outfit to wear, but apparently they have 666,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow,
So
that's the devil's work.
the conspiracy theorists have gone wild with that one.
I
But
think we should just go, like I said, just go to Primark, get a jumpsuit, stick a label on, off to space we go.
and then just get on an aeroplane and just go a bit higher. It's much easier.
Airplane. Just getting a lift, a really fast lift.
Fast lift. Well, if you go to Salesforce Tower in London, you do go on the outside and quite fast. Yeah. So you could do that.
Only I knew someone that worked at Salesforce.
I'm not sure I do anymore, to be honest with you. Coming down is exciting bit. That's when you leave the ground and you get a bit free falling.
I went for an interview years and years ago, and it was in the city, and I was obviously going through different stuff in my head at the time, so I got in there, walked in the lift, okay, and it goes up, and it went up, and it came out sort of like a bit outside at the top, and you're like, oh, that's nice, isn't it? Like you can see down there. Right. I had not conceived any relative perception that the door behind me was going to open. The door opened into the reception area with people looking at me, and I was facing completely the wrong way.
Brilliant.
I got the job.
I'm going to mute in a minute because I know my dog's about to go crazy because the other half's just turned home and the door's slammed and he's going to suddenly pop his head up and go, I must greet everyone who comes into our house loudly. So I'm waiting for that.
Including burglars.
My favourite interview, while we're talking about data, was...
That one, listen, we've lost 1 million followers.
That used to be the old National Crime Initiative or something. And they asked me a question of where I wanted to be in 5 years' time. There he goes. And I said something like, I'd really like to be living abroad. And they went, we don't have an office abroad. And I was like, oh, okay.
Shit.
That's not so good then, is it?
You didn't do the old cliche so in your desk?
No, definitely not. I just wasn't even thinking. I just gave them the honest answer. I was like, oh, I'd really like to live abroad. Which way this guy kind of went, well, I don't think you're the person.
Really, just anywhere but here.
Yeah. You appear to be leaving in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I'm quite glad I didn't get in. There was no need to go down that route. Anyway, after however many minutes, 4.5, 5 minutes, we should probably talk about something relevant.
No.
LinkedIn. What's going on with it? What's going on with LinkedIn?
I know. I'm bad. No, not bad. I got a warning for a kind of innocuous comment, which I thought was weird considering the amount of stuff I see on there that is most definitely more inappropriate than what I said. Put it that way. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's some weird stuff going on there. It literally, I know people go, oh, if you're complaining about the algorithm, it means your content's shit and all this. I get all of that. But, you try videos, posts, mine, I've kind of plateaued. They don't really, you get the odd one that wishes to go quite high. Some, they just, you can't seem to really move forward with it. You can't get past a certain kind of number anymore, no matter what you do. You're supposed to put comments on the people's posts. You do all the box ticking that you're supposed to do, even the changes that have come in recently, and then you just go, doesn't really get to a certain point, and it seems to stop, and it goes again a little bit. So that I know the algorithm's then checking what you've done, your algorithm process, all this stuff allegedly. But you're kind of going, well, okay, if I post something about chip sauce or pizza toppings, I'll go gangbusters. Tens of thousands plus of impressions and comments, and you're going, okay, great, but is that not really what this place is for? Maybe. I get it. Social media is a funny thing. I don't have a problem with people putting out um, those types of posts. I don't have an issue with any of that. I'm quite happy to see nonsense on there as well as business stuff. I think it makes it fresher, it makes it more palatable, and it's like scrolling around. It's interesting, but then you'll be thinking about it, going, well, and I'm not the only person that says this. There's loads of people saying that, tons and tons of people are saying the same thing, and I'm not. And again, like I said, you get the people going, oh, it's just your content's crap. And it's like, Mar says maybe, but I'm not the only one having the same problem. And you think, well, I don't really know I don't really know where it's going, I suppose.
I don't even know if they do. I mean,
Mm.
you can say content's rubbish, but then I see people who I think a year ago would have got huge amounts of comments, conversations, likes, and that currently, okay, they might still be getting over 100, but it's nowhere near what they used to get. But also lots of people who talk about, I've seen loads that say I put a business post out that's really helpful. No one looks at it, and like you said, then what was yours? What did you put on your chips or something? Only 1,000 people have taken part in your poll, and then yes, again it says use video. You put video on, it goes nowhere. No one looks at it. They've got their articles. I don't think I've had an article post go past about 3 people ever. They seem to die, and unless I post before 8:30 in the morning, nothing happens on it. You don't suddenly see throughout the day. If I posted at 10 o'clock, I can guarantee I'd get possibly 1, maybe 2 likes. That's it. Uh, so there's definitely issues, and whoever's saying in the background, oh yeah, but you just need to do this, this, and this. It's like, again, I know there's vanity metrics, and getting 1,000 likes is great, but if it's the wrong 1,000 people, it doesn't help you. But it still pushes you in front of more people. The more people commenting, the more people see it. Whereas you probably a bit like mine. If I get 15 likes on a post, chances are I could guess who those 15 people are. And
Yeah, I don't really get it. I know it's hard, and I'm not, I don't expect to post something out and suddenly go, and expect to go viral with very little effort. I understand how it works. I'm not an idiot, contrary to popular belief, or a devious bastard. You kind of going, your consistency is the thing that he's always said. You're consistent, you keep changing it up, you're changing the content, freshening it up, putting out different things, different times. And you sort of go, well, as you said, it's like, well, what? How realistically, how many people are you getting in front of? It's, I know there's that whole thing. If you're getting in front of 500 impressions and there's 500 people in a room, you'd be quite happy with that. And I get that. But it's like, well, how can you go from Okay, how do you take that 500 to 1500? How do you consistently? And I know what I'll do. I'll post about pizza fucking toppings and see and rate every other day and see if that keeps going. And you're like, well, what's the
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's annoying. I told you I'm doing this. I've got some automated
spamming?
messages. I'm not spamming. I'm only going to people in my network, so
Oh,
I'm already connected to them. If they
yeah,
want to
do
leave
more.
if they want to leave the network, feel free to leave. If you're annoyed by one message, it's a bit like that though as well, though, isn't it? There's lots of people who are complaining that they're being sold to on LinkedIn, and you're like, isn't that like 90% of the purpose of it is to get your name out, sell your goods, tell people what you're doing? But yeah, I just don't see it as good at all as probably it was previously.
Is there anything else that you think you use? I know you use YouTube and things like that, but I don't know. There's no real. Is there really anything else that's going? Come on and bring it. Disrupting it. Is there anyone else taking on LinkedIn? I guess is the question. Is there
I
anyone really
don't,
going after it?
not that I've seen. I think they
Yeah,
could
it's
quite
interesting, isn't
easily.
it?
There are a couple of other business networks, aren't there? I was looking at one the other week, actually. I can't remember what it's called now.
That's helpful. Cheers. Thanks for
I
that.
know you threw that one at me. Give me some preparation time.
It was hardly a throw in. You knew what we were talking about. It's hardly threw it at you. Just don't blame me throwing something at you on your shit memory.
I knew what we were talking about a week ago. I've done no research. Uh, no, someone did mention. I think in one of the posts someone mentioned it, but you can take the standard stuff and say, well, loads of people are coming off Twitter. It's still probably got a massive audience, but is that where you want to be? Blue Sky seems to be a bit more. Let's chat about stuff rather than selling or anything like that. You can dance like a dick on TikTok and see if people want to then buy you based on how well you can lip sync to a song. Uh,
Not very. Oh,
YouTube, YouTube, I occasionally get the odd short that does quite well, but the core videos don't. But then I would say that I don't really put a lot of time and effort into that as a platform, but should maybe should spend
I
more
think
time
it's
and get
too
the videos.
saturated now, where there's too many. I don't know. I don't think. Oh, I don't know. I think because LinkedIn classes itself as a business networking platform, or whatever the hell it brands itself as now, shouldn't it be focusing on that and building network and creating that? And again, I get the argument. Oh, everything. You have to put the effort in, and you have to do this and do that, and you have to make sure your content's on point. Fine, okay. But there's no kind of, okay, well, have you tried this? Or all they say is, can you promote this? Have you tried this? I tried the company premium page for a while, saying it was going to do this 7 times faster growth, right? Well, like that, absolute garbage. Yes, I grew a bit, but you're like, well, how do they measure that? Well, we haven't touched on data. But how do they confirm that's a statistic? Because you think, I didn't expect to suddenly, go 10,000 followers out of nowhere. But you kind of, it didn't.
Yeah,
You go, well, that costs as well. I just took a trial. But you're like, well, why would I pay you another 60 quid a month for nothing,
yeah.
basically?
And have you got Navigator?
I do use that sometimes, to be fair. But that, again, it's like, well, how do you really, yeah, again, you have to put you can't, how can you tie the two things in together? I know you can go people who comment on your post, people who've interacted, you can put all those filters on there. It's not. I don't really see it as being very proactive in saying try this or look at this or I mean even TikTok and stuff they do say try following so and so. Have you thought about this? And I know LinkedIn does do that. Have you tried following this or so and so comments this or but it's not really kind of in your face going, hey, these
Yeah,
people I think you should go and speak to.
but
It's
I've seen a lot of people on Instagram with reels as well. I follow someone, and she does give quite a lot of useful tips, and she's got some mini courses and that she does. But
good space.
in general, it seems to be follow whatever the latest trend is and jump on the latest trend. And it's like I don't want to do that. I do leadership coaching. I don't dance around my lounge or
Well, you must do
do
breakfast at
other bits.
Tiffany's in your pants.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's other things. Maybe that is what people are looking for in a leader. They're going, oh,
Yeah.
I'll buy him now I've seen him do that. But,
Put on my
or,
slightly uplifting playlist
yeah.
and have a little boogie.
But I see lots of people. I sometimes think even like some of the bigger names, you see them on LinkedIn and that, and they're still not getting the engagement you'd think they'd get.
Mm.
Especially when, I mean, I look at it, and I think I had a message this morning saying the post I did last week of, I did one of them stupid ones, the AI one, but I turned the dog into a human, which was crap, but it made me laugh because it looked almost identical to my son, which was quite funny. But I think the message this morning saying your post last week got 600 impressions or something. You know, I've got 6,500 connections, so you're only getting to a tenth of my own audience,
Yes, which doesn't make any sense, does it?
which makes no sense at all. But also, the other thing I'm quite liking about doing all these messages in the background is that I'm starting to see people in the messages that I've not seen for years, or not messaged, or not seen any of their posts. And I know there's a lot of lurkers, but they also are a lot of people who do post. And then, like, one of the people who's replied to me, even just saying, uh, thanks, but I'm all right, sort of thing, I've now noticed two or three of their posts in my feed. And it's like, I can't, unless it's that, what's that thing where if you say something, you notice it more. I don't think it's that. I generally don't.
Manifestation.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think it's. Genuinely don't think he's been in my feed until this has happened in the background. So yeah, I'm struggling. I'm thinking the marketing needs to go a different way, different angle. I don't know what that is at the moment, but when we talked about this, and we used to get not a huge amount of listeners and that, but we get a few listening to some of the older episodes and that. And then last week's we had two on YouTube and two on Spotify, and yet we both posted about it. We both got comments, but it doesn't go anywhere. And then it falls into this, which is why we're having a grumbly session today, as opposed to our normal cheerful, happy selves talking about data. Having a bit
Yourself,
of
of course.
having a bit of a moan and a grumble. But I think there's a lot of people in the same boat, and a lot of people having the same kind of squeeze or pinch happening to them.
Interesting how many people do stick it out.
Yeah,
I do wonder if people are going to go.
try and find someone else. But I don't think it'd be that hard to create a network that worked for
No,
you.
you just don't really. I've not really seen anything. I'm not aware of anything. You mentioned one of minute ago, and I didn't even know what it was. I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, but you get which one was that? Blue Sky.
Mm.
That's like a Twitter equivalent,
Twitter.
but a nicer one, less argumentative bots. I think on there, more conversation. Uh, so
Just
it's
not bad.
worth a look. But again, you're in the same boat as me. Small company. It's like, can I have a Blue Sky, YouTuber, Instagrammer, a this, a that, a Facebook? And I see courses. It's like how to grow your business with Facebook, and it's all about. I'm doing one at the moment, and it's largely use Facebook like a business platform and send connection requests to people. And I'm like, if you connected with me on Facebook, it'd be an immediate no unless I
It's,
know who you are.
oh,
Why would I
I
start?
wouldn't because I am very proud of my Facebook activity.
Yeah,
I've got zero connections, so I'm really proud of that.
well, maybe you should start somewhere. Maybe you could use it as a business one, but
No, I
mine,
actually purposely haven't. I'm not connecting with anybody on there.
you don't want anyone on there.
Well, I didn't bother because I thought again. I was like, I don't really. I just didn't have no interest in doing it, so I didn't do it. I only set it up for some. I can't remember what it was. Some networking reason. Networking group. I had to have a Facebook account to go join a page or something. I'm like, I don't actually have one.
There must be people on there who it's working for who've got big groups who are then selling to them, but I don't want a million people connected to my Facebook, which is generally used for personal stuff or to share images with the family when I'm away and stuff. But yeah, I'm
And,
confused. I'm confused, Richard, as to what to do. I've given up posting. I've not posted on LinkedIn for a while now, actually, because I got bored of it.
well, that's not going to help, is it? That's not
It's
the answer.
not, but posting every day didn't help either, and posting every morning didn't help, and commenting didn't help, and doing videos didn't help. And someone watching this will pop up and tell me they're a LinkedIn expert, and they'll get me
If
a
they don't,
million,
if you
a
don't get
million
banned,
bookings
if
a
you don't
week.
get banned,
Yeah, but
a million bookings a week.
million bookings a week. That's how many I need.
Could you cope with that? Do you think?
Yeah, just get AI to answer them all.
Your was way too confident.
Yeah. How many hours are there in a week? Surely that's
That'll be
enough.
fine. I
It'll
got
be
it's
fine.
like saying sign up to my course. I'll be fine.
Sign up to my online course, and you're all good. But so yeah, it's an interesting one. And where it goes, I don't know. I think at the moment the platform's just lost its way a bit. It doesn't really
No,
know
I
what
do.
it is.
I do think that is that. I do get that feeling. It doesn't quite know what to do with itself.
Yeah,
I think if it bans the kind of the fun element of what, not fun, you know what I mean, the non-businessy type thing, then people won't bother. And if it says it's going to be try and be one thing, particularly, people won't bother. Yet it doesn't actually encourage one thing. I don't think it quite knows, as you say. I don't think it quite knows what to do with itself.
no. And I think some people saw it as a bit like a glorified recruitment
Mm.
site initially. Some people saw it as a connection site, but then you try and connect with people, and they just ignore you anyway. And it's like, well, just because you don't know me, you can still connect, and we can still see if there's a mutual benefit or a mutual interest. But
That's the other thing. That's the other caveat they put on there that I don't really understand. When I know they don't block you not connecting out to people you don't know, but when they say only connect with people that you know or whatever it was, like, well, why would I?
yeah,
I,
I already know them. So
why? Surely I'm already connected with people that I know. Why would the whole concept of growing a presence is to
yeah,
contact people that you don't know? Is it,
and
or am I got the wrong end of the stick?
using the tool I had again, I was sending out quite a lot of connection requests last
Spam.
6 months ago, and there is a limit to how many you can send with messages and stuff. But again, even just sending a like fairly generic, I'm just trying to expand my network sort of stuff. I think I was at a 7% acceptance rate, which when you're sending 1,000 a month sort of thing is pathetic. You're adding a handful of people into your network, and it's not even. I'm not even bombarding them with spam or sales messages. It's literally just increase the network, bring more people in, get more followers. But
I wonder if it's the promoted thing they've gone down the route of.
well, you see the same posts every day, don't you, from the promoter
Yeah,
side?
I wonder if that's what they're prioritizing, reach.
Yeah,
Because if you're looking at people from other, how much of your feed is people that you don't know? Or is it all people that you know? And I get that you would probably prioritize people that you know, but how about why isn't there like kind of a secondary feed for people that new discover content? Maybe I've got a business like an idea for them, but they're not gonna listen to me. But
I'm going to tell you what my feed is because I've got it up. So the first one is someone I don't really know but must be connected with has commented on someone's post, then an advert, then someone's reposted a job, then a post from someone I actually know who's posted a silly picture, then learn how to drive more leads with LinkedIn, watch a video, then an
shall we?
advert.
Should we play it now? See if it works.
Yeah, watch video now, then an advert, then a suggested post, then a company I do know, then jobs recommended, then a promoted post.
Not much content in there, mate, is there?
No, then someone supporting a post, which is a story about a dad and his kids, so nothing to do with work. Someone likes a post, then we're back into promoted posts, and someone I might know commented on one. So it's dire. It really is. It's there's nothing coming up of stuff that I would necessarily be interested in, want to read.
You can change the sort by though. You do know that one, right?
Oh yeah, I've done all that. I've changed loads of different things in the sort bys and what I see, what I don't see.
You celebrating someone I don't know, someone that I know. Advert. Yeah, it's not like. I don't know. I do wonder.
But maybe we've
Was
come across maybe this is now becoming a depressing podcast about business owners who are pissed off with marketing and LinkedIn, and therefore,
so completely flip it on his head, right? So anything instead of uplifting, positive posts to podcast, we're going to turn it into the miserable fuckers podcast.
yeah,
Don't come on here if you want any good ideas or suggestions.
yeah,
But come on here if you want to have an absolute melt about something.
we're two miserable dicks just swanning around. wanting to meet other people who are just as miserable and fed up with social media as we are, and we'll create a little group, and hopefully someone within that group will
What
go,
you get from this? Absolutely nothing. You'll be miserable as sin by the time you finish.
yeah, yeah. Don't listen to it on the way to work because you'll turn around and go straight home again. At least wait until you've got there.
This is the ideal podcast to listen to psych yourself up for a sales meeting.
Yeah,
or just before you get to the gym.
I'm done.
Oh, here we go again. An absolute bother.
People look forward to a little bit of therapy every couple of weeks with us. How about that one? Therapy with two dicks.
That's something that would definitely get you banned from LinkedIn.
You're definitely going to get banned. You can't Google that.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
Not that I have, but I'm just saying I wouldn't recommend it. I'm close to after my hauling over the coals.
Well, technically, I mean, what we'll do is obviously align this to the fact that what's driving LinkedIn is obviously the data that sits behind it. So it does all come back to
Should I say 106%?
Yeah, but they're just getting it wrong, and it's frustrating because there's probably loads and loads of really good, useful stuff on LinkedIn.
Most of it produced by us.
Yeah.
Or not you this week.
Huge amount. Although you do like your day trips at the weekend, don't you?
Mm.
Boring everyone, we're going to London again. Again, every week. If you could go a few different places occasionally.
I'll try.
I've kept my Edinburgh photos aside, so I might post them this week, see if that encourages
the dirty dicks.
Yeah, encourage some people to get involved in that. I didn't actually go in the dirty dicks. I just walked past. But I'm gonna have to send you that one.
Snigged like a little boy.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna have to shoot because I've got someone calling me in a minute. And that was the most depressing 29 minutes that you and I have spent together.
I don't think so. We were still laughing.
It's the only way to get through it, isn't it?
What laugh?
Yeah. Maybe all the small businesses need to come together, combine their meagre budgets for marketing, and do one big push across all of them.
And just take it off of, or just to create a new platform.
Yeah.
Or how about I set up a group on LinkedIn saying now you fucked off with LinkedIn?
Yeah. There you go.
I think that'll definitely get a ban.
See how many members you get before you're banned. It's worth a chance. Worth a go.
Yeah, always. I might do that.
Anyway. Right, mate.
Ta-ta.
There's our therapy. We're all happy again now. We're all sorted. Got it off our chest.
Go back to listening to your partially upbeat playlist before you go.
Partially upbeat Spotify playlist. That's what that's the description. not quite fully upbeat, just partially.
It didn't make me particularly upbeat. It made me laugh at your choice of music. But
that wasn't much. I don't choose. It just plays them.
It knows.
It knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, mate.
See you later.
On that note, I'm off. I'll speak to you later.